1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello, and welcome to the Red Rising podcast with Liz, Craig, Sam, and Nick. This is something of a grab bag episode. We thought that there was some content left on the table before we moved on to Golden Sun, so we are throwing this in at the last minute. So please enjoy. Also note, of course, this contains major spoilers for books 1, 2, and 3, the Red Rising saga by Pierce Brown, and trigger warning, there are very adult topics. So listen carefully. Enjoy.
I am ready.
I'm ready. What episode is this?
We're gonna do a
What
grab bag
episode
episode.
is this?
This is
Yeah.
interlude. Episode interlude.
Episode 6.
Yeah, we
technically,
kind of
I
want to
believe.
like a speak now or forever hold your peace moment on book 1. I feel like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like we're moving on from book 1 after this, at least
Yeah.
for the time being.
I feel like it's also
So-
good for discussions of like overarching things that are going to
Mhm.
carry on.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So where would we like to start?
I have a hot take.
Oh my gosh! Right out the gate. We're going
one-
right out the gate.
Is it one
Well-
we're aware of?
I'm worried it is.
Mustang.
Go ahead.
Mustang is a genius, but I think the fans often mistake competence for inevitability. So Darrow is the one who changes history, and Mustang is a stabilizer. But she doesn't even do that good a job at stabilizing. So without Darrow, she's still smart and capable, but she does not become the force that we need, or the galaxy needs, because Darrow is that catalytic event and continues to be. So that's my hot take.
But is Darrow just getting in her way because he's so brash
Rash.
and so like he doesn't think things through. So like even if she has a great plan, we don't know because he will just like bulldoze the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go even further out. Mustang would be nothing without Darrow.
Well, vice
Mustang
versa.
could do nothing, could enact no change, despite her, maybe she's like trying new ideas, right, about equality. She could do nothing without Darrow. She would not even be a footnote in history.
Okay, that might be. See, you're just trying to be provocative
I
now because
know.
what you're saying isn't that big of a stretch. Because the
No.
book is about
Because-
Darrow, so he has to push the
yeah.
plot along. I've heard
Yeah.
you say much more controversial things
Hot
about
take.
Mustang, which I'm glad you're not now, because hopefully you're seeing the error of your ways. Maybe this is where we'll find some conflict. As much as I believe that, I think she both exceeds Darrow in almost every place except for physical strength, intelligence, passion,
And anger. Don't forget the anger.
And
This is
Thank you. Good point. Good point. Who you think she's an overrated character in general? True or false? Which couldn't be more wrong. That's where the opinion is in error. Is that okay? So that's where we've landed with that.
All right,
You're
next hot
entitled to your
take.
opinion. It's just wrong.
Right, it's just the wrong one.
Could not be more wrong. One thing we didn't discuss, which is in this ilk, and so this can like continue, is that in chapter 34, which is in part 4, Arrow points out this is where he's kind of like fully sort of, I would say, maybe like falling in love with Mustang. Also, they're like partnered together, and he says himself, what does he say? Mustang's strategy is EO's dream, and he like comes to that realization through a conversation with her, which I think is really interesting because Darrow didn't really believe so much in EO's dream until he kind of heard it back from Mustang, until he lived through the Institute, and he felt his way through it. But Mustang thought her way there. Like, she finds a republic to be a logical solution to like their society, which I think is really powerful because that's kind of how Golds think.
I feel like this is also a good time to mention that she literally saves his life.
So what could
Sure.
he do if he was dead?
I don't know, guys.
Okay, so Craig, say Mustang is irrelevant without Darrow. It can be said for all of them, right? Because like Darrow has the vision. He's now being like used by bigger forces to create this chaos, but there's no actual like plan. And Mustang is the one that has a plan. Severo's the one that helps him and saves him a lot too. Cassius plays his part. They all have a part in building this change that Darrow envisions, but he wouldn't be able to enact anything without them. And
I don't think so.
Mustang plays.
And I also don't think he envisions it. It's Mustang's
That's
vision.
true.
He doesn't have
What's
any
her
vision for
vision?
how this should roll out.
He's just
a society based on a republic.
That's true. He's just break the chain, and that's really it. Yeah.
And even that, he didn't even come up with himself. He got that from
Truth.
EO. And he's
That's
just like,
true.
well, EO wants me to do it, so I should do it. Not because he actually wants to. He's just like, well, I tried to die. I'm not dead yet, so I guess I should do this.
Right. And he just
Adrius has this great quote where he's like, "You be the sword, I'll be the pen." And
Is that in
Adrius,
this
by the
book?
way,
It is
I can't
not.
in
remember.
book 2.
Okay.
Oh,
I just
sorry.
can't remember when he says that.
Well, this
That's
is
what I'm-
kind of this is our
having their
interlude. I
little
feel like
meeting.
we're
Yeah.
good
yeah.
discussing multiple books on the interlude.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just jogging my memory. That's when they're sitting in that little cantina.
Yeah. We're not there yet. Okay,
yeah.
never mind.
It's okay.
No, go ahead. It adds to your very not valid point. Go ahead.
So I recognize that Darrow is just a force, right?
Mhm.
He is a tornado whirling through the lives of the people around him. I don't know if it matters who the people are around him, though, right? And we see him lose so many of his loyal folks over the course of 6 books.
But Craig, realistic, how do you think Darrow would be though if Mustang wasn't? I feel like he would have dropped EO's dream because he just would be flailing at the institute, and he just really had no plan. I don't know who Darrow would be without Mustang.
Guys, in book 2, can I talk about book 2?
Yes.
Yes, you can. We've discussed
had
this.
We have this moment, right? If Darrow were just a blunt instrument, he would have blown up at the gala event with the bomb that Harmony gave to him.
Yes, why doesn't he?
Wait, why doesn't he?
Friendship and Mustang. Literally, I'm pretty sure there's a point where he thinks of Mustang and sees Mustang, and that is where he's like, oh wait, no, this is a bad idea.
Let's go to the text.
I'm frankly less concerned about where Darrow is without Mustang and more concerned about where the society is without Mustang. She's the one who sets up the
That's
system
fair.
of government
Yeah.
and leads the system of government. He can free people, but he's not a politician.
Mm-mm. That's true.
I'm
Great.
finding
I've
it
won
great.
the argument.
Yeah, you won.
You won. I mean, she also does help him see, right? She's one of the first people that helps him see, gold can change. They're not all just Nero.
I think going to your point, Sam, and also a little bit more, it's where would society be with Darrow without Mustang? I mean, there's a chance it would be completely obliterated, or Darrow would just be dead and there wouldn't be any change.
She
And then-
goes and proposes her own form of government.
Exactly.
Her
And
own plan for a new form of government. She talked for 6 hours. The convention is listless. Who the fuck is this?
Why does she write like she's running out of time? No, but actually, without Mustang, Darrow is whatever. But with I don't think we ever get to the point we're at if there's either total destruction or it doesn't actually succeed. And on the flip side, without Darrow, if you just have Mustang, she is already admittedly a reformer, and she's already making moves to try to do that even without Darrow, even
Guys,
on
look,
her own.
Without Mustang, we have Fitchner.
Fitchner dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
Spoiler,
probably
spoilers.
because of Mustang.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Did you
he
find your
did.
quote? Did
He
you find
dies
your
No, I
because of
didn't.
your favorite
I
character,
got
Rogue.
distracted.
Come on.
Yeah.
I need drugs.
All right.
Yeah, he dies
No,
because of
but-
Rogue. Also, let's not forget that Mustang was busy popping out a child that she was also caring for by
Thank you.
herself.
Yep.
In secret.
In secret, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she had the Telemanus family.
I mean, she's
Well,
still...
listen, we're going to come back to this for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
This is not the last time.
No.
I
Much
think
like
you guys
Narrow
are
Watch.
wrong. I think right if Darrow, this goes back to the Darrow is weak and is too kind, and he should be, I don't know, more
That's your
he
take,
shouldn't
though.
forgive. That's my take. Yes. So then
Yeah.
Cassius wouldn't be around. Fitchner would still be alive. Fitchner is the one with the plan.
That's not true, though.
And
I think Fitchner was bound to die when they like discovered his identity. Well, I guess that's not
yeah, but it's
not true, but
And-
I don't think it's true.
Please correct me, because you guys know that I'm like, not up to date on these. But Fitchner also wasn't into politics, right? Didn't Dancer get into politics? So, like,
Correct.
where is Fitchner's not leading any form of society? He's leading a rebellion.
Correct.
Am I wrong?
No,
Okay.
you're right.
Wow.
yeah, but he has he has a plan.
Does he?
He
Yeah,
has
remember
a plan
in
for
the
liberating slaves, which is great. I am
in
for
the
that.
shuttle, he's like, "It's always been me, boyo," right? And I think he says something about like that he had it under control.
For the rebellion.
Yeah, but I think it like goes
Yeah,
back
but-
to like the comment that Darrow's mom makes where she's like, yeah, all these men making plans for a rebellion, but like nothing afterwards. Like you save all
Yeah.
these people, but what the hell are they gonna do now? You're just
Right. Like
Yeah.
if running a society were the same as running a terrorist organization, you'd have a point, Craig, but it's not.
This is running parallel to another topic I wanted to discuss that I think is another one we'll be like revisiting multiple times. If you'll indulge me, this may only be interesting to me, but in our first episode, Liz pointed out that it's kind of a boy book, and I wanted
Yes.
to like revisit that as we go through. I wholeheartedly agree for book one. And anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because we're talking about, we just mentioned two female characters, Mustang and Darrow's mom, who are basically like pulling past the plot of a rebellion and
Right.
into a plot of like, how come all these dudes are making all these decisions and we don't even have like a working society to look forward to in the future? So that to me is like a very female lady thing.
Thought
Is like,
process,
guys,
yeah.
like, yeah, we gotta like make a cooperative society. Men are just so bad at that. But
They're just
anyway,
like, we need the change
those are just my
now. And it's like, and it's like, yeah, we need the
Louder for
change,
the
but
men in
we
the
also
back.
need a plan in place. But
so I
Wait,
wanted
Sam,
to feel
go
like
on.
where are we at boy book right now? I just want to like check in on like female
Yeah.
representation, on all of that stuff for book one and like where we felt like it landed.
personally,
For just book one.
Yeah, because we'll do this
Okay.
again. I feel like we'll come back to this.
Go
I
ahead,
think-
Sid, or Liz.
oh
Liz,
yeah, I
you
was
were the
gonna
first to
say
mention this, so
personally, book one heavily is boy book for me. It's like 90%, right? Because like we meet the female characters, like we meet what's her name, Victor's sister, Antonia. We meet Mustang, but most of the book is focused on, right, like the guys like Darrow, Titus, Tactus, both. And, like,
Both.
the Jackal. Like they're the ones making like more of the big moves. And that's sort of, I think, for me, that's where book one focused a lot on. And so it falls into boy book for sure. Because it's just all go, go, go. And then all the murder. And not that women can't kill and like effectively, like we kill better and more strategically, but it's just all big bang and it's all boy like.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the moment when I was like, this is the most boy book is actually at the end in the last like fight sequence where he's like going through Olympus and he thinks a Mustang has betrayed him. He is peak drama
Yes.
queen in that moment in a
That's
way
true.
that is so
Boy.
it's like dripping in like so much rage and drama, and like to me just so is like romanticizing like his rage in a way that is
Mhm.
maybe like more traditionally feminine but so fucking masculine. Like it's such a
Mhm.
like, oh, get over your goddamn self. And then like that is when he rips up the Hamanthus, I rolled and I was like,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
such a fucking boy book.
That is such, I
Like,
forgot
you
how
ripped up
much,
your
how
Hamanthus?
dramatic he made all of that. Yeah.
My God, he was so drama. So that's where I was like, boy book
That's a
through
good
and
point.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts from the boys? You can speak. It's okay.
So
We'll
Go ahead,
allow
Nick.
it.
Well, this is actually I've got a few thoughts here. I definitely agree. But it's funny, Alex and I started listening to the audiobook of Dungeon Crawler Carl together. And like halfway through like chapter 3, she's like, "Oh my God, this is such a boy book." And it is. And I don't think Red Rising is as much of a boy book as Dungeon Crawler Carl is. However, it definitely is. And it's like you said, it's the certain masculine dramatization of self that there is. It's also even in the like romantic aspects of it. There is like definitely like male, like I mean it's all like Darrow's point of view, and I think that alone is going to color it, and it's written by a man, all
Right.
these things. But there's also just certain things where it's like, oh, we have to have Mustang also be in like also almost die, and there might be other purpose for that, other like allegory in there, but it's also like, oh, we need to have, it can't just be one way there. She can't just save Darrow, it has to go both ways. And I think that was something that I was like, huh, this is a bit interesting. And the whole like, oh, I'm going to go kill those people that we're going to like try to do whatever to Mustang. I forget that whole scene, but that also was one where it felt a bit like boyish.
It is book one is very much a boy book. And I said this in, I don't remember which episode, 2 or 3. One of my favorite scenes of the book, which is absolutely a boy book moment, is Cassius and Darrow freezing in the lock. And then Severo comes and they have this like, woohoo, and they steal June the cook.
June. Great mention.
Right? That is such a
Swashbuckler.
a swashbuckler moment,
Yes.
right? I mean, even to some extent, so is the like Severo and Tactus snuggling in the belly of a horse, right? Or like crawling through septic pipes to take over which house is that? Anyway, like I agree. Book one is very much a boy book.
Okay.
So I'm on
Cool.
board with that.
I think the entire first trilogy is pretty. I think there's a like. I mean, obviously there's a tonal shift between the trilogies, and without getting into any spoilers there,
Right.
I think the entire first trilogy is more boy book than the second. But I do agree with your point, Sam, that as the books go on, it maybe gets a little bit less towards that end of the spectrum of it. But
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to the reread, because this definitely like changed my tolerance for other sci-fi books just straight up not having women. And maybe it's because there's only a few. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe I thought this was great and it's just because there's like a few. So as I reread, I'm going to look back and continue to revisit. Like I love the female characters in this series more than the male characters. And I feel like amount wise, there's like a good decent amount, like half-ish. But of course it's the POV is a male POV, so is the writer. But yeah, I guess I'm just used to just awful female representation, except for, of course, those wonderful books, of which there are many and great ones written by women, which hopefully we can cover someday. That's just not what we're covering right now.
Well,
So.
who are the strong, I guess, in book one? We have Mustang, June
And then
the
we have-
cook.
Yeah, June, of
Just
course.
kidding.
I will
I
say,
mean,
what's her
Antonia
name?
is a player.
Villains. Yeah.
Yeah, the scary girl,
Leah.
Leah. That was nice to have her like introduced and like just all of them like shake to their bones just based on like her being.
Lilith, not Leah.
Lilith, yes. Thank
Lilith,
you.
yeah.
Oh,
Leah was
Lilith.
opposite.
Mm-hmm.
She shaked in her bones.
Oh, yeah.
I think book two is where we start to get better
Yes.
female character
Mhm.
and character development.
Because
Yeah.
we
And it
get
happens in
Victra.
chapter one, really. Well, we get Victra,
We
which
get
is a huge
Victra.
boon.
That's a huge get.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
get
it's a
Octavia.
big get.
Aja's and
Octavia is too.
right?
Octavia is
Octavia.
great.
Aja,
Aja,
definitely Aja.
great. Even honestly, what's his name's mother? She was a great. Was she in book
Oh,
3?
she's also great.
Yeah.
I
End
also
of book two.
Okay.
There's a lot of good moms. Are you talking about Cassius?
No.
Or
No.
Ragnar. Not Ragnar.
Dara's mom.
No, not Dara's
just-
mom.
Darrow.
Ragnar. No. Why do I keep saying
Oh.
Ragnar? Not Ragnar. The guy.
Helga.
The Obsidian. Yeah. Or is that book 3?
Okay.
That may be
Ragnar.
book Ragnar. Okay.
That's book 3.
That's book 3. Okay.
That's book 3
Anyway.
where we get.
I think there's a lot of strong moms.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
good sign of a feminist text.
I think we're also overlooking a very, very interesting one here, and it would be harmony.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's an
I
easy
think I
one to
just
look past
don't like
because
Harmony,
Yeah.
so that's why I love this.
yeah, she's a great character, but I
And,
Great
don't like her either.
Is-
Yeah,
Oh, wait, never mind. I was about to do one from the next trilogy.
Oh,
Thanks,
no.
Sam.
Anyway, okay, cool. Let's just keep monitoring. Thank you for indulging me on that one.
Yeah, that was
Just wanted
good.
to throw that out there. Anybody have any other grab bag topics?
I mean, I have another hot take, but it might just be
Let's
rage
hear it.
baiting.
Lay it on us.
I want to hear it. I love a rage
Um,
bait.
I don't think Cassius is honorable until we get to Morningstar. I think it's all fake, and I think it's all for show. And I think it's all getting back to boy book. This is what honor should be, and it's not real honor at all. The whole like dueling Darrow in the mud. It's just forced, and it's just what a kid thinks honor should be, and it's completely wrong.
I agree with you.
Oh,
I think like also I think it's to Sam's point of like boy drama. I think like he was just emotional. He was just,
Yeah.
feeling his emotions, and I feel like he didn't know how to express it, and so he's like we should, and then that's Nick. I think that correlates with like the whole honor and like being a young person. I think he's just like, I'm so torn. I don't know what to do. So this is
Uh-oh.
how we will fix this. Yeah. Oh no.
Well,
right.
I think, lest we forget, they're 17.
Mhm.
Darrow's the only one who's mature because he's lived an entire lifetime,
Yeah.
effectively, and died, and been reborn, right? So I agree with you, Nick. I think that we get to see all of the core characters grow up through books 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and I think it's also this trope that family equals honor, right? Because that's how we see Cassius defending his honor through at least books 1 and 2. It's defending his
Mhm.
family, not actually defending his honor. And I think that that's a placeholder for honor, and it's not actually honor because his family is by no means honorable.
Do you guys remember in the last discussion about part 4, did we talk about I think we did, the difference between like family and honor between like reds and golds?
I think
I think we
briefly. I can't
touched
remember
on
if we
it, but
actually
not.
talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we did too. So I won't dredge that back up, but I am interested since we just talked about dudes and how, societally patriarchy doesn't allow men to like feel their feelings and so it comes out sideways. I'm wondering do we think like gold society is kind of like that? Like what is there are we drawing a parallel there? Like golds in general are sort of meant to be stoic or highly dramatic, and so that's where some of that like you insulted my family, good man, like where that comes from.
See, Sam, you definitely just jogged my memory a bit because when we did have this discussion before, we talked about the difference between Bologna and Telemanus. And I think that, like, in a lot of ways, Telemanus is a counterpoint. I think in most cases, yeah, you're right, but that's not the way that Telemanuses are. And I think it's absolutely purposeful that the symbol of the Telemanus family is a fox, which is a red animal.
Is it red?
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it's a red fox.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, it has red hair. What do you think? It's a
I
golden
mean,
fox?
I did think it was a golden fox.
well,
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh,
That's a great
sheesh.
question, and that would definitely throw a wrench into this whole thing.
Sophocles. Oh,
Nick,
you're
side
right.
note-
A red gold, sharp-eared thing that flinches at the sound of its master's voice.
Don't they also have red hair? Like
I
not
feel
like
like-
not like red, like rusty red hair, like the
I
Reds,
feel like
but like
Daddy Telemanus matches the fox.
yeah,
Is my
Daddy
exactly.
Telemanus. I love that.
And I think that's kind of showing us in a way how, yeah, I think you're right, Sam. I think there is a difference in family dynamic between red and gold, but it isn't strict, right? And I
Right.
think that's what the Telemanuses are showing us is that it doesn't have to be strict and it doesn't have to be that way, which
Yeah.
again comes into why Mustang is so important because she's showing us that golds don't have to be that way. Craig.
And that the family, the like family blood feud stuff is a little
Yeah.
bit performative.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There's another place where it was a boy book. This is a blood feud.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's a hot take related to the blood feud topic. Darrow, and I think maybe we mentioned this, Darrow, not Cassius, is the real betrayer of the friendship that they have in book 1.
I'll agree with that.
Because of the lie.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
Darrow starts the lie,
I mean, but
which I think we did discuss, right?
I don't think he's necessarily wrong to do it, but I will
Right.
agree that in terms of the friendship, yeah, I agree.
Darrow
So, like,
does
you know,
tend to
I
lie
think-
a lot, though. I feel.
That's
Well,
true.
he's gotta.
That's true.
Sort of the name of the game for him.
He's in enemy territory.
He's an unreliable narrator.
Oh, I looked that up.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, I looked it up. And just to close the loop on that from our last discussion, an unreliable narrator is someone who is like we kind of said, it's not just if you're biased because it's a first person point of view. It's if you're actively lying, and or in like, not tethered to reality. So it has
Right.
to be like either purposeful or like scientific to use poor words, but the AI overview for Google, when I Googled, is Darrow an unreliable narrator? Says Darrow Olikos in the Red Rising saga is often considered a, and this is in italics, strategically withheld information narrator rather than a traditionally unreliable narrator, a term Google just made up.
Yeah, that's fake.
But there actually are a couple Reddit threads that argue this point, and a lot of them do come to the conclusion of like, there are a few times in the book where Darrow betrays our trust a little bit in his narration, which are a bit spoilery for the like series, so I won't bring him up individually, but he like hides parts of his plan in order to make the book sound better. And so some
Right.
people say that's a bit of a flaw in the text. Other people say I like that aspect. I like being surprised, but ultimately he is a reliable narrator. He just doesn't tell you the whole truth sometimes. Okay. So
Mhm.
he is a, semi-reliable narrator. He's only unreliable when it makes the book more exciting to read.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that because right, like in book 3, had I known some of the things were coming, it wouldn't have been as like impactful, right? I would have been just like, oh well,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where a lot of the arguments center is on the book 3 stuff.
And I
That
think
makes
that's where
sense.
it comes up the most.
Mhm.
There are two places I think it comes up the most, and I think it works perfectly. I'm not saying it's a flaw at all. I think it works. I mean, my favorite absolutely is he never tells us that he trained with Lorne. He purposely omits telling us he trained with Lorne.
That's another big one
So
in the
when
forums. Well,
when the duel comes, it is absolutely amazing.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
we're going to
What?
have an episode just on that
'Cause
duel. We talk about it all the time.
yeah, I guess we could talk about that more there, but I feel like I specifically remember him like glancing over, like saying, "Oh, I could have gone and trained with Lauren. Oh, if I did go and train with Lauren," and like definitely phrasing it in ways that it's like we're led to believe he didn't, but he clearly
But
did. Yeah.
that's not an internal monologue, right? He's saying that out loud to people around him.
No, I think it's also in his narration too. I think I could be wrong.
I don't think
We'll
it
find
matters
that out.
because
We'll
he's the
literally
one
find that
telling
out in
us
like
the
a
story.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, if someone's saying something, it's because Darrow's telling us someone said something.
Hmm.
I've never once thought about this book as being like a journal of Darrow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's very different than Catcher in the Rye or something that is so obviously the narrator is speaking to the audience. This
Like an
doesn't
inner
read like that.
monologue.
Yeah. This is not that. So there, mark it.
Genius. You've won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Real
You're
journalism
amazing
right
take.
there.
Yep.
It's more grab bag. Last chance.
All right. I got one for Severo.
Oh, yes. I love talking about Severo.
Severo's a great character. I think that I wish that we had seen a little bit more from Severo in book 1 because we don't really get more of Severo until the last trilogy. But the take is that Severo is Darrow without the mask. How do we feel about it?
Sapphire is Darrow.
Can you explain why you have that take? Because I don't see it.
Severo kind of understands that the Institute does not reward honor as much as it rewards, I don't know, endurance or cunning or savagery. And so Darrow, I think, wants to rise above that. And we see him have quotes to that effect, right? He's the teacher's pet who answers Fitchner's question correctly about, what do we do when you have 12 clans? You make one out of 12. And Severo, I think, is the one who knows better and is the sort of lone wolf. And I think he also sees through the gold pageantry.
Well, yeah, I think
Yeah.
they have some trauma bonding there, right? I think there's some similarities in their situations, but I think they're actually very different. And I think that's part of why they work so well. And it really comes into play in the second book. And I'll leave that for that discussion because I feel like we're talking about so many points we're going to have in our next season. But I feel like they're very different. And that's why their friendship really works.
I like the take. I think in a sense, Severo hasn't had the privilege of having a mask. Like Darrow has this whole backstory, and his life's hard. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but he looks like a beautiful god. Like dudes want to be him, ladies want to be with him. He's super strong. Like, but he has these fringe ideas for a gold because he's not one. Severo has some fringe ideas, and he also doesn't fit in at all. Like he's maligned by the group. He's little. His skin isn't as clear. And he's also got wacky ideas. And so I could see like, yeah, he is Darrow maskless because he has to present how he presents. He doesn't have a choice.
I kind of hate what I'm about to say, but I think it kind of fits. In Darrow, you have the best red, and in Severo, you have the worst gold.
I mean, physically.
Right. Not by
okay.
real standards, but by
Well, I don't
society,
know.
by society standards, by the society we have in the books, by those objective standards. I think you could say that Darrow would be the best red. I mean, even before he turns gold, he
Right,
says
'cause he's a
he's tall,
helldiver
all these things
and-
as a red, even though he's still a red.
His
And
hands.
yeah, he's got those giant hands that do great things that
Dexterous.
That we'll
that
never
Pierce
know
won't
about.
describe in the books, even though
Yeah.
we're begging for it. And in
I thought we put
Severo,
it on ice
Sam-
because they're
yeah.
still so young.
Hang on, they're like 10
Oh,
years
yeah,
older in
yeah,
the second
yeah.
trilogy. You definitely have a
Liz,
chance.
Liz, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
On Severo and Darrow, I
Yeah.
don't see them the same. I think they have a lot of similarities, right? Like I think you've all pointed out in that they're just kind of like the outliers in both of their respective groups, right? Like and I think that they bond because they understand that they just have something different than everybody else. They don't know quite what that is, but I think they're different enough because like Severo is interested. He's just like, I don't know. He's like what is his nickname?
Goblin.
Yes.
Goblin.
Like Severo's truly a goblin, and he just like lives life savagery, right? Whereas Darrow, I feel like is trying to be a bit more refined because he has this goal in this task. Now, if he didn't have it and he still ended up just being a red, I don't even know that they would be friends. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. I actually, Greg, I'm very happy you brought this up. I think this is a great grab bag discussion because
Mark
I think
it.
it's a good one that we're going to be coming back to throughout the series. I think there are many overlapping points where their life functions, and I mean that
Totally.
like mathematical function, not like they're functioning. Like they intersect and overlap, and we see how they react similarly and differently. And I think I won't go so far as to call Severo his foil, but I think there's a lot where they're different. And I do see I like your take, and I do see the similarities too. It's fun. For sure.
Yeah, I'm
Mm.
excited to talk about this. There's a lot of good second trilogy stuff too.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
it's hard because like I want to pull so many second trilogies for like similarities and differences, but not yet.
Not yet. Any other like favorite characters?
See, this is where perfect setup here, Sam, because
Okay.
I wanted to say maybe not necessarily favorite, but like who do you identify with? And the reason I think that's a great segue is because I would
Mustang.
It's hard because I'm so beautiful, which I know you can't see because it's a podcast, but I look just like Mustang, so I
Should
feel like
turn the
forced to
camera?
say her.
see, I would go with Severo. I feel like I identify with Severo. He is reclusive, he is weird, he is short, and he absolutely marries up.
He's a runner.
Yeah, there you go.
Shout out Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
Okay.
mean, it's got to be Uncle Nerl for me.
Hell
He's
yeah.
my favorite.
A 35-year-old drunk.
180 from the Mustang take. No, I haven't thought about identify, so I'll continue to think that.
Yeah,
but
I'm like
by
thinking-
far, favorite character has been Uncle Nerl for me. Go ahead,
That's
Liz.
fair. No, I was just thinking
That's a
of
hot take.
Uncle Nero
is,
as
and I
the
like it.
favorite character. Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
let's talk about it, but I talked about it every episode, and I will continue to. So we
No
don't have to
rush.
take time. Yeah, we don't have to take time now.
Liz, you were saying you hadn't really thought too much about
Yes,
it.
I
But
haven't really thought too much about who I identify with. Maybe June the baker. You know, I cannot bake for shit.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's
but you know,
clutch.
it's great because you just pop out when needed and then never show up again.
You're really good at something, and people want you for that.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
We really need Pierce to come on the podcast before he finishes
Yeah.
Red God, so we can tell him about how imperative it is that he bring June the Baker back.
100%.
Yeah.
Full circle
Yeah,
moment there.
I
Yeah.
did reach out. I told you guys I reached out to his marketing team to ask if he was available.
Oh, yeah.
Did they tell you to go away?
They have not responded, although I need to check our email address, thehowlerbookclub@gmail.com, to see if they responded.
Yeah, hold your breath.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
All right, so
I also
Wait,
want
Sam,
to
what's-
know.
Craig.
Yeah. Go ahead, Liz.
I wanna
Oh, no,
know.
Craig, say who your character is.
Yeah, because if it's
In book 1,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yes.
I don't know. I relate to it's not a book 1 character.
That's fine.
It's a book 5, 6
Okay, then
character.
no.
So
Do I know?
can't.
Do I know
Why
this character?
are these rules so
No.
difficult
Okay.
I know.
to understand?
No,
You can say Darrow. We won't make fun of you that much. Go ahead.
I do want to be Darrow. I do want to be Darrow. I think in my own professional life, I do a lot of jumping without looking, and that's kind of like a Darrow thing.
For sure.
I like it. I'm just happy you didn't say Nero.
Or what if I'm like,
Ooh.
Adrius, hear me out.
Yeah.
Adrius.
He is misunderstood. I mean, we did get into that in episodes, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I in the same way that Titus would have been a different person if he had friends. I think Adrius would be a different person if
Ooh, we did not get
he
into
had,
that, I don't think.
if he had
I was
therapy
gonna-
and friends.
I just like, I to me, there was just no saving Titus. I think he did his role, and I think he had too much hate. I think there was just like no getting around that. No amount of therapy would have gotten him through to like care less about these people, because like what he witnessed was so heinous. Yeah, I don't know.
But what about Adrius? Because I feel like they sort of position him like a psychopath, not like a
They
nature-nurture.
do.
Like,
Mhm.
the
And-
nature is bad.
So I think for Adrius, the moment, what we have to go, it is a very interesting point, Greg, that I have brushed off every time you brought it up. But I think we have to go back to I can't remember his name, but their older brother dying. That's what shifts his and Virginia's life, right? And sends them to live basically alone. And what would happen if that never happened, right? And it is interesting to think about. I think he's still absolutely batshit, and turns out absolutely batshit. But maybe not.
I think maybe
I think there's
Yeah.
something in him that took it to another level, right?
they make it sound
Yeah.
like he was born that way, right? 'Cause even like when he was little, he was already like a psychopath or a sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe.
Yeah, I think-
Oh yeah.
No, I was just agreeing.
Yeah.
I think in later books, Virginia explains some of those stories. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And I think that like if anything, maybe he would have been more sinister had he had like friends, because he would have like learned ways to better hide his. Oh, maybe I'm just taking a pessimistic outlook on him.
No,
but
I
no,
agree
that's
with
a
you.
great take.
I agree with you because also he has friends.
Yeah.
He's got Lilith.
Well,
Look at the company he
that's-
keeps.
That's not much of a
I
friend.
was gonna
But
say.
it-
Yeah.
I think that's a crony.
What's
Yeah.
the difference between a
I
crony and
don't
a
think
friend,
he's-
Greg?
We find out. Wait, what are we to you, Nick? Are we cronies or friends?
He's like, "You're
that
pod
is an
people."
exercise for the reader.
I suppose from a nature-nurture standpoint, I don't know. It could be also a commentary on the breeding of the Augustus family. Like, he's got
Yeah.
a shit lineage when it comes to like treating other people like humans. So
I mean, his
that's
dad
one
is
way.
busy, though. His dad is busy. He's the governor of a planet.
That-
You know what I mean? Like, how much time can he really have to be a dad?
Sure.
And
Then
his mom commits, well,
I look
Is that a
forward to
spoiler?
you. I look forward to you defending Lysander with as much vigor,
Ooh,
as
I
you
am so
discovered
excited
Andreas.
about
God.
Lysander.
Rough waters
Honestly.
here. Let's
His,
cool
Let's
his
go.
mom,
guys.
his dad was gone, and his grandmother was always busy.
This
Okay,
might be
everybody
spoiler
be cool.
territory.
This is spoiler territory. Everybody keep your
We
heads
gotta
about
mark
you.
that. We should
Dancing
probably just
that.
mark it. We can't talk about it.
Well, I don't think we have to remove this
We
specifically
haven't said
if you guys
anything,
keep your
yeah.
mouths shut.
We talk about the future of Lysander.
He's in book 2.
No, zip it.
We meet him,
Zip it.
yeah.
As one who is actively reading the second trilogy, I think we're fine with this discussion
I
as
don't think
if we cut it off
so.
here. But I could
Cut
also,
it
I mean,
off.
even
Cut it off.
even before I started
I like
reading
Sam
the
in the
second
background.
trilogy, I
Cut
knew
it
things
off.
about Lysander. Yeah, just mark it.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Here's my final take for book 1. The only quality character development that we get is Darrow. And I think
That is false.
starting at
That
book
is
book
just
2,
false.
book 2 is where Pierce really sort of comes into his own. And from book 2 through
Okay.
6, the quality of character development, not just for Darrow, but for everybody, is 10 times better.
Okay. I was out and then you pulled me back in. Okay.
Okay.
That's my hot take. That's my hot take.
Aside from, I vehemently believe there is other quality character development in book 1. I definitely I don't think it's so much a hot take to say that the quality of everything improves after Red Rising.
Yeah. Is there like a final look ahead question? Like, what are we most looking forward to in book 2?
Oh, yes.
Other than the duel? Well, I guess you can say the duel. We're
Duel
all
I
is
looking
like-
quite
forward to that.
good.
I also really just liked, as Darrow was, struggling to find his place. Because in book 1, right, kind of
Mhm.
everything kind of fits nicely as it's supposed to. But then when he, is kind of on his own and is left alone, I do like that, sense of stress from him. And I'm looking forward to that.
There's one thing that sorry, I don't mean to just completely shift on you, Liz.
No.
There's one thing I think Pierce touches on in book 1. He does a little bit, and I think I hit at it with talking about the unreliable narrator and the storming of Olympus. But I'm really excited to dive into the twists of book 2. There are some massive twists that I think Pierce does very well, and I'm excited to get to those. And it's throughout book 2. There are 2 big ones I'm thinking of, but I know there are some others in there too.
Craig, did you already say?
Chapter 1 is, I mean, we did discuss this, but the pace of book 2 is unrelenting in a way that is unique to Pierce Brown. We don't even get it, I think, in book 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's never a moment from book 2 onwards through 6 where I feel like there's any awkward moments or pauses or weird empty space. There's no filler. It's just, we roll along, and it's but it's perfect. It doesn't feel odd or forced in any way.
I have a potential.
Whereas,
Go ahead, finish. Sorry.
well, whereas book 1 we do, right? And we talked about it. Book 1, the amount of content that is smushed into Darrow being carved by Mickey up until Julian dies, dense, potentially too much, right? That could have been
Mhm.
twice as long.
I have a
so anyway.
potentially hot take that jumps off that. I think the first part of each book is always the weakest.
Oof, that is a hot
Well,
take.
I don't like the beginning of Golden Sun. I really
Oh.
don't like the beginning of Morning Star.
Ah.
I don't like the beginning of Iron Gold.
Ah,
And same with Dark Age. It's not that
You're
I don't like
wrong.
it. I
You're just
that's
not
fair.
into transition. That's what it
You're
is.
fucking wrong.
This is a macro issue of Nick not liking new things at first.
That's the
I-
hottest take there is.
I-
You're wrong.
I am someone who avoids negative feelings, and every single book opens with negative feelings. And isolation. Every book opens with isolation for Darrow.
I mean, I don't know. What was I gonna say? The third book, I really liked the start of Morning Star. I don't know. Maybe I just like Darrow and Payne.
Where he's in the cage.
That's my problem. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Is
fair.
Liz, do you watch The Real Housewives of Orange County?
Yes.
So there is a character, for those of you who don't watch, called Shannon Storms
Oh
Bedore.
my
And
God.
every time a new season of The Real Housewives of Orange County starts, she's like, I've hit rock
Yeah.
bottom. I'm the worst it's ever been. Life is,
That is
I
an
thought
excellent-
it could be bad. It's the worst it's ever
Yeah.
been. And
That's the opening of every
Darrow.
book.
And he's
Every
dead.
book. He was like, I've hit a new low. I didn't know I could do it. I've hit a new low. And then by the end, he's like, it's a new me. And so is she. Like, they have very
That's
similar.
true. I never put this together.
Yeah. Well, this is my first or second time reading Golden Sun. It's my first time reading it for the second time. And I am looking forward to just like seeing how it washes over me. I took to the first book way differently on my second read than the first one. So just interested to see where it goes. And of course, interested in seeing where we go with Uncle Neril.
Uncle Neril.
Narrow watch.
Yeah.
Narrow
I'm
Wash
excited.
lives on.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
And,
right.
and keep an eye out for June.
Yeah. If she ever comes
So
back.
keep on June. Oh my God, we're going to lose our mind.
Wait, so let's I want to talk after we're done recording.
Okay.
Okay. Well, goodbye to those of you who will not continue on after we're done recording. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, y'all.
Thank you for joining us for that grab bag episode and for riding along through our wonderfully unhinged discussions. We've got a fun surprise next episode before we officially kick off season 2 and dive into the events of Golden Sun. And no, I'm not giving out any spoilers for next week. You'll just have to tune in for the surprise. If you're Pierce Brown, Tim Gerald Reynolds, or would simply like to join in on our discussions or send us ideas, email us at thehowlerbookclub@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Red Rising Book Club. Thanks for listening to us and see you next week.